Welcome to 6 Weeks to Success, and this is class number 2, and I'm going to go ahead and get this recording started and get the class started. And we already have online Laura Miller and Lori Ackerman and Mia Anderson and me, Kristen, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so 6 Weeks to Success. As you guys know, please jump in, share your thoughts and whatever as we go along. This is very, very informal, and I want you guys to be talking as much, if not more, than me. So there's your challenge, right? To talk more than me. Anyway, so 6 Weeks to Success, class 2. This one will be focusing on bookings. So first off, I want you guys to share some good news. What's anything good going on in your business? Good parties, or made some good contacts. I don't know. You guys share.
I had a party on Saturday, and
Tell us about
it. 2 people showed up.
Okay.
And the host, so that'd be 3.
Okay.
1 person left before we got to cook something.
Oh no.
And the other one had gastric bypass, so she couldn't eat anything.
Oh no.
What did the second person do? Went to rest?
She had gastric bypass.
No, the one before that.
She had to go home. I don't know what, she couldn't stay to eat, so.
Okay, so we'll take this. So you did the demo anyway, I hope?
Yes.
Okay.
And we made 250 cents.
Say that again, $200.50?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The party.
Yeah.
Now, did she have pre-orders, or how did you get, or was that the?
We had pre-orders. We were supposed to be in October, but we moved it to this Saturday because she's the one that thought, oh, only 3 people are going to show up. Well, 2 people only showed up anyways.
Yeah.
But my sales was $300 because she ordered $244 worth. So.
Oh, good. Okay. So,
yeah.
So for your commissionable sales, is it 300? Did you say? Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I was gonna say, and sometimes that's it. Even if the party sales are low, sometimes by the time the host orders, it ends up, making it a pretty decent party. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this Saturday I have my other Pamper Chef party as well, and then Monday I have my first virtual party.
Good. So, so what happened that she had low attendance? Do you not think she invited a lot of people, or?
Yeah. I don't think that the people that she did invite are older.
Yeah.
And she works at ConAgra Foods where my husband works, so they have different shifts. So.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah. So the key is, have you taken the host coaching course at Pamper Chef University?
Not gonna lie, no.
Okay, take that course, because host coaching, so this is a good lesson for everybody, host coaching is key to the success of your party. And that's basically working with your host. She doesn't know what to do or how many people to invite or, whatever. And so it takes you coaching her along to have a successful party. And so, and that in that course, it talks with you about working with her on, inviting and being excited, and how she should invite and words she should be using to invite people. Because that's the key to a successful party, is to have people there.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it starts with host coaching. So I would suggest, for your homework, is take that class, take that course, and then implement, even if it's just a couple of days, before this next party, but implement some of those tips, for your host, so that this weekend's party has better attendance, because that will definitely help you out. So, anyway. But the one thing I'm very proud of you for is doing the party, even though there was low attendance, and or, thinking this isn't even worth my time. I found over the years, obviously I like a bigger party, but even if the host has, just a couple of friends, I show up, and you just never know of those 2 people, what sales you're going to get from it. Or it could be your next $1,000 party, with a booking, or it can be your next team member. You just never know what you're going to get. So,
well, it's good practice anyway. So
yeah, and that's why I say, good for you, because a lot of times, you'll hear consultants, show up and there's 2 people. They're like, oh well, there's only 2. I'm not going to do my demo. And it's like, you know what? Those 2 people showed up. They, why are you catering to the 30 that didn't come? Cater to the people that are there and the ones that are in front of you and that are interested. So. lesson learned is just, I plow ahead and I do a full demo. I give them my all, even if it is just 2 or 3 people. So good for you.
Thanks.
So, okay. So Laura, any good news?
I didn't know. Well, I didn't have any parties this week, so I did my little thing that we were supposed to fill out.
Oh, good.
I think the good part that I did is, what do you have to brag about? It wasn't for me bragging, but I just felt like Michelle, my gal, for never ever have even been to a Pampered Chef party. And it only had her kit for a week. She did really good.
Yeah.
So I'm just really, really proud of her. And then the other thing that I feel good about is I listened to one of the Sharon Zillon.
Yeah, Zellin. Yeah.
Zillon. Okay. And I did one of her tips, and I actually just did it a little bit ago. And one of her tips were, sorry, my dogs are playing, was to do a social media post on fundraisers and put something like, does anybody have a cause that is near and dear to their heart? And if you do and you'd like to make some money, private message me. And I just did that, and I just posted the heck out of that all over Facebook.
Good.
So got my fingers crossed. I put that on my possible new business, because she said that on top of all of her parties and everything, she does about $2,000 a month just in fundraisers.
Yeah, I say, and what I find with fundraisers is, it's a whole nother group of people to be tapping into, because there's a lot of people who they're not comfortable hosting a party because they're like, I don't want my friends to come and buy, for my benefit. But if they're interested in the fun of the party, they love the product, whatever, they want to have a good excuse to get their friends together, but they don't like that piece of it. If they're doing it as a fundraiser, then they're all on board. It's like, yeah, let's raise money for, whatever, some school or, kids organization or whatever. So I find I will have people that will host a fundraiser that would never in a million years host a regular party.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not advertising fundraisers and asking for fundraisers, you're missing some business. So good for you. You got to always try something new. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Right.
So, good. Okay, Lori, any good news for us?
Well, I helped Kathy with her very first party this past weekend.
Yay!
Tracy and I both went and helped her, and similar to Mia's story in that there wasn't a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But we think with outside orders, we're at least going to get her to a qualified party.
Okay, good.
How many people showed up without you?
Well, one buying customer who happens to be Kathy's ex-husband's wife. She brought her mother-in-law who lives in a nursing home and doesn't cook, so she wasn't really a buying customer.
Right.
But she did well, and she placed an order, and she's got some more outside orders coming, but it was a little weird when she told us who she was.
But I guess if she doesn't think it's weird, then I guess the rest of us shouldn't think it's weird, right?
It's still weird.
Well, good for you for encouraging her to have that party, and thanks for jumping in and helping her, because that's it. It's like, I think a lot of times people are just scared to do that first party. I mean, you got all of us were probably scared to do that first party. Some can never get over that fear, but you got to do that first party. So that's always the first step. So good. Thanks for helping her out.
Yep.
So good. So Tracy, I saw you joined us. Any good news? Are you there, Tracy?
Yeah, I had to find my unmute.
Okay.
I'm here. Let me see. I had somebody text me and needed an order for her daughter's birthday, so I just put that order in before before the party.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I needed to call you, Kristen. I had a vendor event. Saturday.
Well, tell us about it. See, and I put a ticket in for Mia because she shared. So go ahead and tell us.
Okay.
Well, I tried calling Saturday and you didn't answer.
Yeah, I saw that
Me
you
too.
had called, but you didn't leave a message. So I was like, maybe I didn't know if you butt dialed me or what,
I tried calling you too Saturday and you didn't answer.
I was busy with a vendor event and a party that day. So
No, I'm kidding. Okay,
so tell us about your vendor event.
It was okay. I don't have very good luck at vendor events. So I was a little scared to do it. And the girl who running it said, make sure you have a lot of cash and carry, because and I said, I don't like having cash and carry. I don't want to have cash and carry because I don't want to be stuck with inventory. And she pretty much assured me that it would sell and have cash and carry. And so I did have some stuff from the surprise boxes, and I did order a few things. And I only sold, I say only, but I have a lot of stuff left, but I sold about $150 worth of cash and carry, but I have a ton of stuff left over. And not a single order. I did get one booking, but I think I'm going to give it to Lori to do for me, because it's in less than 2 weeks, and she lives out by Lori, and I was just in town. So I just really don't know that I want to come back in town to do it. So that was good that we got a booking out of it, but
well, that's good. Yeah.
I'm just not.
And actually, 150. I don't know that I've ever sold $150 of cash and carry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because I rarely do cash and carry, but when I've done it, I haven't had good luck with it.
Yeah, I was worried.
What sold?
Let's see. The paring knife sold. I had some small flexible cutting mats that sold. I had the 4 multicolored tools that sold.
You made cakes.
I did. Yes, they did. About half of them sold. I made little bundt cakes and then and sat them on the table with the bundt cake pan. So I sold a bundt cake pan, about half of the bundt cakes, and I sold some wooden spoons. I did dip mixes. I sold about 4 of the dip mixes in the 1-cup prep bowls.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be about it.
Yeah.
But
Tracy, can I ask how much you sold the little cakes for, and did you have them in the little boxes that you can order?
I did not have them in the little boxes because that would have been a little pricey. I sold them for $2 each, and I bought little small what are they called? Saucer plates, I guess you could call them. What is that noise? Is somebody typing?
Sounds like somebody's typing.
Not me.
Huh. Somebody was, because it stopped. No, they're still going. Okay.
I hear it too. That's okay.
Little saucer plates that I got. They were like a pack of 300 for $3. And then I had little clear bags, and so I put it in the plastic bags and then tied a cute little ribbon around them, and I sold them for $2 each. But if I had used those boxes, it would have been more costly.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have gotten 300 of them for $3.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we did drizzle frosting on them. So I had yellow cake mixes and yellow cake and chocolate cake. And afterwards, I don't know if you all saw, there was a recall on Duncan Hines.
Yes, I did. I saw that. Were those the cake mixes you used?
I think I did use Duncan Hines. But I ate them too, and I wasn't sick.
And here you are. You're still alive, so that's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have signed up for one more vendor event, which is December 1st, and it's here in St. Louis, and I'm hoping to, carry out more cash and carry. I can't make cakes at this one, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Laura, are you on your phone or a computer?
I was gonna say, I think Laura, is it your dog's making noise?
Because I think it goes back to you like you're talking.
No, I'm on my laptop. My phone's sitting here.
Huh. Because I said, that's where the noise is coming from is you, and I thought maybe it was your dogs.
No, they finally crashed out and they're asleep on the floor. They were racing around, but no. I don't know what.
Try muting it and see if it goes away.
See if mute will go away. Oh, there it went. Good job, Laura.
But come back on when you want to talk, because we don't want you to be not part of the call.
So anyway, I'm trying to think. That was about it. Yeah, well, for the vendor event. It's just it's a little discouraging because honestly, that was the first booking I've ever gotten from a vendor event.
Yeah.
And it just it hit me by surprise, to be honest with you. But yeah, so
do you get, when you're talking to people, can you get people to come over, and are they interested in Pampered Chef to come over and talk with you? Or
yeah, and I ask them, are you familiar with Pampered Chef? And they all say yes, they're familiar with it. Oh yeah, sorry, I hear beeps and stuff, and
no, I don't
me.
hear anything else now. So now I think it's you.
Okay, it distracts me. And yeah, I get people to come over and talk.
Yeah, I say. So where do you take the conversation from there? Just like, so are you familiar? And they say yes.
I ask, I point out the cash and carry. I let them know that I can order anything if they want to order anything. And then
your new products.
Say that again.
New products. Like, do you tell them about the new product, like the bundt cake?
I actually didn't tell them about the bundt cake, or about the bundt cake pan specifically. I'm trying to think. I guess this particular show I didn't, but the last show I did talk about the quote new products. These are our new products. I talked about the quick cooker, but I didn't bring the quick cooker this time because I felt like, I don't know, I was a little discouraged, I guess you could say. I get a little discouraged at the vendor events. So this time I left the quick cooker at home. I felt like, I don't know.
See, I did I did 2 vendor events over the weekend, and I got good response on the quick cooker. And what I'm offering is just the way the specials hit. I'm basically offering that they can get the quick cooker for $96 by hosting a party anytime between now and Christmas. Because, you could open up a party right now and just know you're going to close it December 1st, and then they can get it at $96 as a December party.
I didn't think about doing that.
So I've had it out on the table, and then of course people do, they're like, oh, is that an Instapot, whatever, because it, looks, they kind of have an idea what it is. I'm like, well, it's, it's our pressure cooker, it's a quick cooker, and I get talking about it, and let them know it's like, by getting a couple of friends together, you could get this for $96. So. Mm-hmm. Like I said, so I think if you can get them talking about tools, like what do you have in your kitchen that like if they say, oh, I love Pampered Chef, or they'll say, oh, I have everything, whatever. I'll say, oh, so what are some of your favorites? And I try to get them talking a little bit just to kind of get them excited and, engaged, and then, kind of take it from there. So, and maybe try to engage them a little bit more before you go on to specials, don't just go right to specials bookings, whatever, but try getting them talking, kind of seeing what they, again, from what they share, whether it's old product, new product, how excited they seem to be about it, whatever.
Kristen, what was that date that you said, now through December what?
I tell them, have a party between now and Christmas, and you can get it at $96.
Okay, so you're not
so basically what I was doing was,
you have to take into fact the shipping date.
So actually I kind of started offering this in October because it was part of the October special, and I knew I could go till November 15th. So even if I was booking somebody like with a late October party, I knew I still had to the 15th. Now I'll put those show dates as a December date. Like I said, and then just let them know, like, I'm on direct ship. So like all the customer orders will ship, so it doesn't impact the host, just is the only one that has to wait. But if it wasn't, like if I wasn't on direct ship, I would just, let the host know it, to give you that price, it's a December special, but book the party in November and just let the host know you'll submit all the orders come December 1st. Does that make sense to all you guys?
It does.
And then just, and that's part of the January special as well, but I'm not advertising that. I'm still trying to book my parties, this season right now.
I didn't think, sorry, and maybe, hold on, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I didn't, the quick cooker's not $96 in November.
No, it is for December. It's the choose anything in the catalog at 60% off.
So she's not going to submit the party till
December 1st.
Gotcha. You
So
said that, and I wasn't.
Yeah, so you'll have the party in November, set it up as a November party so like she can do invitations and everything. But then like at the party, then I go in and I flip the date to December and then take the orders, whatever. And then just, you know, again, she can basically have the party closed at any time and then you just push the button December 1st. So it's a little early now to be doing that, but it's worth it. I mean, if it's going to get you a booking. And, you know, really right now, if you're advertising that, you're probably not booking the party till the end of November anyway. So anyway, so yeah, so I find, like I said, I just try to get them as engaged as I can about products and, you know, what do you know, again, I try to go more into the products. So what are some of your favorites? And, you know, they'll talk, you know, whatever. And they'll say, well, you know, hey, have you seen some of our new stuff? Or I'll say, have you been to a party lately? Or have you seen a catalog lately? So then I kind of get them into the new stuff, as Mia was saying, you'll get them, you know, again, pointing out the new stuff on the table or, you know, giving them the little mini catalog that has the newer stuff in it. So, you know, and then, and like I said, if you can find something that they seem to be interested in, then it's, you know, easy to go into that booking talk. So, you know, so maybe just, you know, again, try that because, you know, and I always go into vendor events. Like I said, I don't generally do cash and carry. And I don't really go into it looking for sales. I go into it looking for bookings. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is I find where you have your mindset is what you get. So if you're really focused on getting those bookings, that's kind of the direction of your conversations. You know, hopefully you'll walk away with some bookings or at least some leads, you know, even if they don't give you a date. The other thing too, do you get names at least that you can add people to your newsletter list? Names and emails?
I typically try to, but I didn't this time.
Yeah, because that's the thing too is, you know, you just never know. You know, again, they may not seem interested, but add them to your newsletter list. Who knows when they might see something that catches their eye or they, you know, respond back to you on something.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's all about leads. It's all about just getting new names, new people to call. You know, so if you have that information, you know, and even if it's a simple thanks for stopping by the booth, you know, an email or a text afterwards, you know, you never know. Maybe they were busy and they couldn't really engage there, you know, or had their mind elsewhere. But then, like I said, if you send them an email or a text, you never know. They might respond back.
Yeah.
So, anyway, okay. Well, let's move on. I mean, even I didn't want to spend 30 minutes on that, but I think it was some good points came out. So hopefully you guys got some good ideas on that. And so let's move through to this. Did anybody have a chance to listen to that Make It a Full Calendar? That was the homework from last week.
I didn't. Is it the one that's an hour long? And I just wanted to make sure that's exactly what it's called, making your calendar full.
Yeah, it's in the, where I believe it is an hour.
Okay.
It is, it's under the training and the training and resources tab, and it's under the director bound program materials.
Okay, I saw it. I'm going to listen to it when we're done here.
Yeah, so definitely encourage you, because just like you said, you know, you're going to pick up a tip or two, you know, maybe something that you either didn't think about or maybe you've heard before, but you just, you know, we're like, whatever, that didn't speak to me. Maybe now it does. Or again, I say too, you know, if your calendar isn't where you want it to be, why not try something new? Because obviously what you're doing isn't filling your calendar at the moment. So it's worth it to try something new. You know, you got to try something new to, you know, to fill your calendar. So, you know, pick a tip or two that speaks to you. Just like Laura, you were saying, you know, you heard Sharon's and, you know, she said something that spoke to you and you tried it. You know, same thing, you'll hear something in this as well. So anyway, so did anybody else have a chance to listen?
That's actually oh, go ahead. Oh, I guess that was me. That's actually what she was talking about, is when you listen to things to try to walk away with just at least one tip.
Right.
And do it something different.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, you can't implement everything that you hear on that call, but something, there's going to be some things that you have tried. So, knock those off. But then, like I said, there might be something, and might be something even you're like, oh, that sounds like a good idea, but I'm really scared. Try it. I mean, that's it. That's that step out of your comfort zone that is going to, make things happen. And if you're scared to try it, or maybe you heard an idea, but you're not sure how to implement it, call me, because let's talk it through, and let's, kind of figure out how you can make that work for you. So keep that in mind. But I do encourage, even though you guys didn't do it for this week, I encourage you guys to listen to that recording, because it's a really, really good one. So, okay. So basically, as we've talked before, it all comes down to when you're excited about something, it makes it easy to share. And that's really what, getting bookings is just, your excitement about what you have to offer, whether it's products or, the booking opportunity. And, and again, when you're excited about it, then people will engage with you. So, anyway, I'm just going to read here a little bit. It's just, one thing to be thinking about, as you are approaching people, but, there's statistics out there about families that eat dinner together, have children that do better on their SATs, they have better interviewing skills for jobs, are less promiscuous, less apt to do drugs, smoke, and drink. And it's all because they all ate dinner together. And I know, again, there's tons and tons of research out there about family mealtime and what an impact it has for families. When you know information like that, it's hard not to share what you know. And how does that make you feel when you know that you're going to have an impact on future generations just by going to work? So, maybe that's something that excites you or speaks to you. Maybe it doesn't. But whatever it is, there's got to be something about it. And I think, again, we said this last week, I think for most of us, it's about the products. What products are you super excited about? Or, for me, really, I think how I get a lot of bookings is I'm super excited about the parties, and it's not just the tools, and I'm not just looking at it as sales for me. I'm looking at it as a fun opportunity for people to get together. And, and I, kind of go at it as I know people are busy and they don't get together with their friends. So I'm giving them an opportunity, an excuse to get their friends together and have some fun. And I know that, by hosting a Pampered Chef party, I'm making it easy for them because, they don't have to get the food ready and, do all that before a party. So, again, it's all in your mind and how you approach it. So I always say, think about something that excites you about the party. Whether it's, you sharing cooking tips, it's you giving people an excuse to get together. It's you giving people an opportunity to get Pampered Chef product at a discount. It's you changing people's lives by teaching them to cook, or encouraging them to have family mealtime, or, whatever it is. But when you have that in your head, and that's why you share, it makes it a whole lot easier to share when it's, when you're going at it from that standpoint, as opposed to, do you want to have a party for me? So, and I hope none of you think like that. Do you want to have a party for me? Because if you're thinking like that, you'll probably never book a party. It's always about the host and what you're going to do for her. So never go with the attitude of her doing something for you. So does anybody think like that? And if you do, that's fine. I think we all do that kind of in the beginning, but it's until you kind of get that, that shift in your mindset, that really makes a difference in bookings. So anybody have thoughts on this or want to share something? Are you guys still with me? Everybody's muted. So, okay. So it's easy to share. And I think the main thing is to be prepared. So again, that is kind of getting your mind in the right place about what you have to share. What's so great about hosting a party, all that type of stuff. So I think that's important, but it's also being prepared when you're out and about, that you can take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way. So I'm a firm believer on wearing Pampered Chef logo wear. So I think everybody that's been to conference at least probably has a t-shirt or something, but I wear logo wear like almost every day. And so, and it really, does, some days, nobody will notice or say anything, but I do get people that do see the t-shirt or they do see the logo, and I get the, oh, are you a consultant, or, oh, I love Pampered Chef, or, comments like that. And when you get comments like that, of course, that's an easy conversation to start. So we always love it when they kind of come to you and start the conversation. So so of course you want to do anything you can to get that conversation to start. So again, logo wear is good, or if you have a tote that has Pampered Chef on it, or if nothing else, I say, carry a catalog with you. And one of the tricks that I like to do is when I go to the grocery store, you put your purse in the cart, and then I'll set a catalog or a season's best or something like that on top of it. And so even if you don't have logo wear, if you have a catalog like on top of your purse, sometimes people will notice that. And I've had people make comments to me in the grocery store when they do that. So maybe think about something just that simple as that. I always like this one. If you're reading along here, it says, wear your name badge or whatever. Sometimes I'll have that on for my shows or whatever. So of course that can start conversations. Or this one, I've never been brave enough to do this, but wear your apron to the grocery store. Has anybody done that? Have you, Laura? Okay. What happened? Tell us.
That was the party that I went to, and the hostess forgot to buy all the food.
Yeah.
So I had to fill everybody's wine glass and run up to the grocery store and buy it all, and I had my apron on. Yeah, okay. And I got a couple of questions.
Well, there you go, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and then you can always say, "Oh darn, I forgot to take my apron off." You can always
exactly
act like that. So anyway, and then this is not something that I've done. I'm just reading from the script that comes with this thing, but I think it's a great idea. We have. There used to be recipe cards. I don't know if you can still get your hands on them or not for these naughty brownies. And so the gal who has put together this PowerPoint, she goes like in the brownie aisle and she'll be like looking at brownie mixes and she'll kind of ask them, oh, is that a good mix or whatever? And that kind of gets them started talking. And then she'll do a recipe card or whatever with them. So, just, something to think about in terms of engaging people. So has anybody, at the grocery store engaged anybody in conversation, like a stranger? I know if you see a friend, it's easy, but anybody engage a stranger?
Not yet.
So
I don't engage strangers, but I always have either a minis or an old catalog when I go in the grocery store, and I always give it to the cashier.
Perfect, because that's where I was going to go next. So share, yeah. So then take it from there. Tell us what you do or say.
Oh, I just, you got to kind of fill it out too. If you've got some grumpy old person, or if you've got a 21-year-old young guy that's checking you out, of course, they're not going to want it. And I know you shouldn't prejudge, but you can tell. But sometimes if you feel like you just got a good conversation going with them, I'll just, just give it to them and say, hey, I sell Pampered Chef, so here's a little mini catalog if you're interested. My contact information's on the back.
Yeah, perfect.
But I was going to tell Tracy these little, I don't know if you can see them, but these little postcards that have the little recipes on them. I think I actually got these at your house, Kristen. When I do vendor events, I stand there and as people walk by, I say to them, would you like a free recipe? And that gets them to walk in to hand this to them.
That's nice. Yeah, I like that.
So that's a good way to get them to come towards you. If you say, would you like a free recipe?
Yeah, look on the supply order, because I know we used to have a lot of those recipe cards. I'm not sure that they're doing those anymore, but I think there might be some old ones. And again, no recipe is old, but you might be able to find some of those on the supply order. If not, I probably have a bunch that I can send out to you guys if you want some. So anyway, another trick that I do at the grocery store is if I'm buying ingredients for a particular Pampered Chef recipe, I wanted a separate receipt for that so that I can use it for my taxes. And with the cashier, if you have her tell her put these items on a separate receipt. This is for my Pampered Chef business. Sometimes, like I said, they may engage like, oh, you sell Pampered Chef or whatever. So anytime you can kind of slip a little Pampered Chef in there, you can see if it will get somebody to engage with you. So just some food for thought. And, and the thing is just like Laura said, when she goes out, she has those mini catalogs with her. And I think that's key, because you just don't know. And not even strangers. I mean, you don't know what friends you're going to run into as you're out and about, or people that you know. And you always want to be prepared with, that mini catalog or a catalog or whatever you want to be passing out, so that is an opportunity to engage people. And I always say, now if it's your friend, you probably already have their contact information. But if you're talking with, a new person, stranger or whatever, somebody that you haven't that you don't have their contact information, I think it's key to get their information. This just goes back to the vendor events, so that you can follow up with them. So I put a little sticky note on my mini catalogs, and that way when I'm passing it to them, that reminds me to ask them for their information. Because usually when you're meeting somebody in these circumstances, you're not going to book the party with them. You're just trying to engage them in a conversation and see what their interest is in Pampered Chef. So what I recommend is, like saying, hey, have you seen, any of our new stuff lately? Or have you seen a catalog lately? And they'll say no, most likely. That's when I hand them the mini catalog, because that's got the newest stuff. And then I ask for their contact information and say, hey, I know you're really busy right now. Can I give you a call in a couple of days and just see what catches your eye? And so that's a good way to get their contact information, and then you can follow up with them. So again, as we're having these conversations, as you're out and about, whether it's with your friends or whatever, don't feel like the whole conversation has to be to book a party. You're really just trying to get leads and names of people that you can then follow up with to book a party. Does that make sense in terms of what you're looking for when you're out and about? I think sometimes people get so far ahead thinking, oh, I've got to talk to this person to book a party. And that's really not where we're at. It's going to eventually get there, but right now it's really just that conversation and just kind of gauging somebody's interest, whether that's somebody that you can follow up with or not. Does that make sense? Does that make it maybe a little bit easier to be having a conversation with somebody when you're not, you're not really looking for that end result. It's really just having conversations with people and kind of gauging their interest. So I don't know. And if you're a talker like me, it's like, I'll talk to anybody. So
Kristen, I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever done, or have you heard of any other consultants ever door knock in your neighborhood?
No, I've never done it.
No? Don't know what the results are? Okay.
I don't think it hurts. I mean, I'd be comfortable doing it in my neighborhood. I mean, I've heard of, and again, I don't have personal experience, like to give you numbers or whatever, but I know, consultants, especially if they're new to it, like if you just move, it makes perfect sense to, meet people and, knock on a few doors and just say, hey, I'm new in the neighborhood and I'm with Pampered Chef. Just want to let you know that, I'm here to help you in any way that I can. I mean, it's, good to go around. I mean, and I would say even, you guys being, newer in your business, it wouldn't hurt to, knock on a few doors. Again, I would do it in my neighborhood where I felt more comfortable. I wouldn't go, to a strange neighborhood where I don't know anybody. But it wouldn't hurt to, meet a few neighbors and just let them know that, you have a new Pampered Chef business and you just want to make sure your neighbors know that you're there to help them. Can't hurt, right? You're not, I always look at it this way, when you have to kind of motivate yourself to do it, it's like, if you do nothing, nothing will change. But if you do something, something's bound to change, so by doing nothing, you're still going to have that empty calendar. But if you make that effort and you do whatever you're thinking about doing, if you get all no's, still nothing has changed. But if you get a yes, look where you are.
It was kind of like, they can think you're crazy, and then you open your mouth, and then they'll know you're crazy. Nothing.
Right, exactly. So, yep, that's so very, very true. So, anyway, yeah. And again, like I said, so if you're knocking on doors or whatever you're doing, I mean, it really, you're just informing people. I mean, you're not going to stand there and ask them to book a party. I mean, you might. I mean, you never know how that conversation is going to go. I mean, they might be like, oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef, and whatever. So yeah, you don't know where the conversation is going to go, but really you're just kind of offering a service. I'm in your neighborhood. I'm here to help. Just want you to know that I'm here for you. And kind of go from there. Or again, you can gauge, is there a lot of interest of people? Would they want to come to a party? Have a party and invite all your neighbors. Kind of thing. So anyway, any other questions regarding that? Okay, we're going to skip this. Okay. The one thing to know is that as you're doing these conversations and whatever, is that follow-up. So again, as we talked about with the Post-it notes, follow up with them as soon as you can. Whoops, let me come back. Let me see where I am. Hold on. I got lost in what I was presenting to you guys. But anyway, so the trick is though, from vendor events and hold on, I'm going to get off this slide because that's not what I want to be talking to you guys about. Hold on. When you follow up, whether it's from a vendor event or it's from somebody at a party or somebody that you're having a conversation with, follow up with them as soon as possible, because their interest decreases like every day, like 10%, I think is one of the, I think is what was in here. So, you know, you meet somebody, like even at a party, you know, you meet them, they were at the party, they were excited, whatever. If you wait a week to call them, they have totally spaced you out. They've lost interest. They're probably not gonna, you know, even if they might have been interested at the party, 7 days later, they've lost 10% of their interest every day for 7 days. So now they have like very little interest. If you follow up with them the next day, they're going to have much more interest. Their interest level is still high. So same thing, if you met somebody at the store and you're following up from giving them a mini catalog or whatever, or you met them at a vendor event, the sooner you can follow up with them, the more interest they're going to have, and the more likely that they'll continue to engage with you and or book that party. Does that make sense? Anybody have experience with that? I mean, I have personal experience with waiting too long, and then they kind of become a cold lead. So okay, so moving on. The other thing about being prepared when you're out and about is, again, dressing, again, with logo wear if you have it, having mini catalogs or recipe cards or whatever you want to have to pass out, but also being prepared with what we call as your 20-second commercial. And that's kind of like, we always say like the elevator talk, when you're in an elevator and you have those quick little conversations. But, if the conversation gets to, what do you do? All of us at that point kind of, whatever, kind of stumble and, say, oh, I sell Pampered Chef. And really that's not that engaging. So here are a couple of ideas of things, and again, I don't know that I would say these per se, but, try to think of something a little catchy that, again, engages people in conversation. So if somebody were to ask you, what do you do? You could respond with, I help create mealtime memories with quality tools and tasty recipes. And the whole idea is that then from there, they might say, oh, and what do you do? They probably would ask again, because that doesn't really tell them what they do. Or they might say, oh, that sounds interesting, or, whatever. So, because again, I almost feel like if you say, well, I sell Pampered Chef, sometimes you get that, oh, I love Pampered Chef, but sometimes too, that almost is a conversation ender, because then what are you going to say? They're like, oh, okay, whatever. So if you can kind of say something catchy enough that it gets them to engage with you again. So other ideas, I show busy families how to get dinner on the table in less than 30 minutes. I help people realize that cooking can be fun when you have the right tools. I help people discover their inner Rachel Ray. I mean, I kind of like that one. I have said that at times where I help people discover their inner chef is what I would say. I don't go to Rachel Ray, but it's like, I help people discover their inner chef, or I help, make mealtime quick and easy, or, whatever. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be much more than a sentence, but it's kind of, I think, just makes it sound a little bit more interesting than I sell Pampered Chef. And usually I don't even say I sell Pampered Chef. I tend to say I have a Pampered Chef business, or I'll say I'm with Pampered Chef. Because again, as soon as people hear sell, what happens? Yeah, they kind of shut down, like, oh, she's going to try to sell me on something or whatever. So I really try not to say I sell Pampered Chef. So that's kind of one thing. If nothing else, if you can kind of take that out of your vocabulary. And I think too, if you say, I have a Pampered Chef business, people, look at you a whole lot differently, because I mean, again, it's a business, and I think they respect that as well. So anyway, so questions on that? Okay. So, as we talked about, bookings are the heart of your business. So the other place that you're going to get bookings is at your parties. And I know we've kind of gone through this before, but we're going to go through it again, is that at your parties, because that's the easiest place. I mean, nobody wants to go out and do the cold calling, but again, it is a source of new leads. So I always say that I always make those conversations just like we talked about, but I really try to get at every party at least 2 more bookings. And the whole idea behind that is that if you get 1 booking, it basically replaces that show that you just did. So yes, you're going to continue in business, but cancellations are going to happen and parties are going to be a flop. So if you're just replacing one for one and you have a cancellation, now you have less than one. You're kind of going in the backward. You're going backwards. If you can get 2 bookings from every show, your business is going to grow. So you're going to have 1 to replace and 1 to grow is kind of the way to look at that. So anyway, so as it says here, you never want to close a party without 2 bookings. So work with your host. I mean, it's to her benefit to be getting these bookings because that's more half price items for her. So, work with her and partner with her. And let's say at the end of the party, you only had 1 booking, let's say. As you're closing up with her that evening before you leave, let her know, hey, Susie's going to have a party, but I want to help you get more half price items. Who else do you know that might be interested in hosting a party? Right? Because she might say, oh, my friend Nancy, had mentioned that she wants to have a party. And again, if you didn't ask her directly, she probably would forget to tell you. So you may, oftentimes that host is going to do that. Or if she's like, gosh, I don't know, say, well, you know what, over this, next couple of days before you close your party, ask a couple of friends if anybody else is interested in hosting a party, or, and I encourage her to share with them how fun it was. And then to see, if anybody else wants to have, because again, it's to her benefit. So get her to, help you out with some bookings as well. And then I always, 2 is like, if I don't get that second booking at the party or through the host, I go back to, my 15 contacts a week. I get on the phone and I try to get another party booked, even though it's not associated with that, but I still want that second booking. Does that make sense in terms of, looking for more bookings? So, and then of course, it's always good to have, a catalog party or a Facebook party as kind of gravy, if you will, on top of those 2 live show bookings. If you're doing live shows, I think everybody on the call is doing live shows. So live is best, but again, you can, have some gravy with the Facebook parties or virtual parties or catalog parties. So.
Do you make a list of 15 every day?
No, I don't do it every day. I just kind
Every
of,
week?
I just have my rolling. I have my contacts. When I feel like I'm not getting the dates and things that I want, like if my calendar's not full where I want it to be, then I do more tracking where I start to write down the names of who I'm calling and, am I reaching them and really looking at my numbers. So normally I just kind of keep up with my own leads. I touch my business every day. And I have the flexibility of being able to do that because I don't work another job. I know it's more difficult when you're working another job. So I don't always track all my, like those 15 contacts a week, like I'm having you guys do, but I want you guys to do it because it's very eye-opening, because you think you're making all the calls that you need to be making, but if you're not actually contacting people or having conversations or having the 2-way through Facebook or email or whatever, it's not a contact. And it always is eye-opening to me how many people you have to reach out to have 15 contacts, right? So did anybody start tracking that from last week? Okay. So what are your results? What are you finding? How many, like, again, to actually have 15 conversations, how many people did you have to reach out to? Or did you find I haven't even had 15 conversations yet because I haven't contacted enough people?
I'm still working on it. I haven't contacted them, but I've got, instead of 5, I wrote down 17 new businesses. And what I did is I looked at everybody on Facebook. I have so many people on Facebook that I don't contact. I thought, why don't I start trying to use that? I mean, it's right there in front of me. Use it.
Right.
And then I've got 10 old business down. So this is my goal for this week, as I hope to make contact with those. And I'm trying something a little bit different. I know that you say get on the phone. And
no, it doesn't have to be the phone.
Well, and this might be, the other gals might laugh and like, duh, everybody's been doing that. Where have you been, Laura? But I just discovered that on your Facebook, when you do messages, you can do them where you can record it. So they actually get a little audio of you talking.
Oh, love it. Yes.
So that's what I've been doing, is I just hold it and I talk and I just say, this is Laura with Pampered Chef, and we've got a really great special going on, and talking about that. I just wanted to see if you'd be interested. The same things that I would be doing in a voicemail on the phone.
Yeah. No, I love it because
instead of a text or reading, they're actually hearing me.
yeah. No, I love it because the whole reason that I like the phone is because I can hear the excitement in your voice. So you're absolutely doing that, but using, you know, technology that works for most people. So I think that's fantastic.
Laura is the overachiever.
Yay. So yeah, and you will
No, I'm not. And you want to know how many sales I had last month? 0. So no, I'm
that's
not.
why she's looking for new
That
things
means you're
to
going to
do.
get double this month.
I've got to, because I'm in a panic. So I've got to.
She doesn't want to lose her career sales. Nobody ever wants to lose career sales. So anyway, and Laura has a nice team under her too. And so you have to sell yourself to get the override. So then not only do you lose your own sales, but then, I mean, you're not getting paid because you don't have sales, but you're missing out on your overrides too. So yeah. So yeah, once you build a team, you definitely want to be active every month. So yeah. And so, yeah, and that's it. But like I said, so back to, do I track it? I don't track it as often as I do, but when I'm finding my calendar's not full, I do track it because it's so eye-opening to me that, you know, I think I'm calling enough people and then I realize I'm not because I haven't talked to 15 people, you know, within the week, you know, which seems to be a magic number. So anyway, so as we said, 2 is the magic number. And like I said, if you're not getting it through the party, then you should be reaching out to people, making those contacts to be getting that second booking on your calendar. Okay, so there's gonna be a whole lot of things that I'm gonna read to you here. So in order to get 2 bookings, you have to ensure you do a few things. So here we go. Here's a big long list. I already talked about this one, host coaching effectively. If you're not sure what host coaching is, as I said, Pampered Chef University has a great course. They give you checklists to use. They give you words to say that you can text, you can email, you can be Facebooking, whatever. Everything you need to work with your host to have a great party is there. Pampered Chef University host coaching course. And then the others are just kind of, you know, just having that good party experience so that the host, you know, that it's a positive experience for the host and she'll be sharing with her friends and that everybody's having a good time. So show up on time. I think that's all just being professional. Make sure your dishes are clean because again, people are going to be eating and cooking with your tools. So you don't want them to be dirty. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. I think everybody on the call, I can trust dresses appropriately and is clean and clean hair and bathed and whatever. But trust me, I've seen some consultants. I'm like, oh, I can't believe you would show up at somebody's house looking like that. So anyway, like I said, I don't think you guys need to worry about that. But when you're doing your parties, talk about high-priced products. Or what I talk about is I always show power tools. So that's your, you know, your quick cooker, your rock rocks, your grill pans, whatever, because that's going to create that desire beyond their budget. You want them to fall in love with those products, that they have to have them. And that's what's going to book the party because they're going to be like, wow, $240. There's no way I can get that quick cooker. But you know, then when you share with them about hosting and they can get it for whatever, $96, then hopefully that's going to get those dates on your calendar. Make your host feel special and appreciated because number one, it's going to be good for her to share with her friends, but then others will see how she's treated and respected and, you know, everything else. And, you know, they're going to want that as well too. So that will help you get bookings. Go over bookings in your intro. So again, as you're getting the party started, plant what we call a booking seed where you can let people know right off the bat. I'm going to show you, you know, I'll say something like you're going to see a whole bunch of products today. You know, think about getting a couple that you have to have right away, but then, you know, have a party of your own and you can get everything else on your wish list. Throughout your demo, as you're showing tools, especially those higher priced ones, remind them that they can host and get them at half price or free or whatever. And then in your closing, and that's when I do my full booking spiel, where I go into the detail of that. Use your door price slips. I don't know if you guys use those or not, but that was the little pad that comes in your new consultant kit. I use that at every party and I don't just pass those out. I actually, talk them through, like mark here if you're interested in getting your friends together for a party, let me know what date or month works for you. So I talk them through that and have them fill that out as we go along. At checkout, I ask every single customer if they're interested in hosting a party, and I don't prejudge. I don't care if it's the 90-year-old at the nursing home or if it's the 21-year-old kid that's there. I ask at a party, I ask every single guest if they're interested in hosting. And then, of course, if they say no to the party, I also let them know they can get the same great benefits by having a catalog party or a virtual party. So
do you ask that in a group, or do you ask that?
No, when I do their one-on-one checkout.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I do their checkout, I ask each person individually. And then too, like, you know, if they say no, you know, you can say, well, you know, keep me in mind if somebody you know would like to have a party, you know, or ask for that referral, as they're saying there. As we talked about, have your host be your booking agent. You know, remind her she's going to get those half price items. Offer incentives to the guests to book shows, like some have done like 3 little gift boxes, or, you know, just let the host know when she has 3 parties, she's going to get an extra special gift or whatever, or have, you know, a gift bag. There's all kinds of things that you can do to entice those extra bookings. Know your products when you're doing the demo to create interest in purchasing or booking them. So again, that goes back to that creating the desire. But I think it's, again, your passion and excitement about the products. Smile a lot and have fun. Because again, if you're having fun, people will have fun. And when it's fun, what do they want to do? They want to have another party. They want to book a party with you. So, and have your calendar ready so that, you know, like, you know, when you do get the person who says, yes, I do want to have a party, that you're ready to schedule them right away. You know what dates are available for you, get them booked right away. And you don't want to have to do the, oh, well, I'll call you back to set up that date. If they're booking and they're excited, get that date on the calendar ASAP. So, and then too, and I also do like the trick is if they do want to book, but then they're like, oh, I just can't commit, I got to look at my calendar or whatever. I try to do that. Well, let me pencil you in. And I don't care whether it's pencil or ink, they're on my calendar. It's, you know, I try to, you know, at least get that commitment that I can pencil them in, and then I follow up with them the next day to firm that up. And I find that if I penciled them in, they're already committed to me. Whereas if I don't even pencil it in, a lot of times then they never answer their phone again. So just some tips for you on that. So any questions on that? That was a big long list, but a lot of good ideas. Very good. Okay, so as I said, it goes into having what's in your mind when you go into the party. So start saying on your way to every party, I will get 2 cooking shows and 1 catalog show booking today. I am a booking magnet. Everyone wants to book a show with me. And I do find what's in your head, that's the direction you go. So if you're going into that party with, I'm going to book them all, you're going to get those bookings. So just have that in your head.
So this lady that had gastric bypass over the weekend, the one that I only had there.
Yeah.
My host was deciding what she wanted for her product.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I was explaining, you know, if you host a party, then Carrie can get the quick cooker for half off. And there you go. You'd get the quick cooker and the stoneware set that you wanted. So
right. And that's it. It's like, yeah. And like I said, I mean, that is it. And, you know, even though like that person probably doesn't cook much because they don't eat much.
Oh, no, she doesn't. She got gastric bypass, but she doesn't. Right. Her kids eat TV trays.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. But you know what? I mean, good for you for asking, or at least, you know, putting that in her head, because, and the fact that you said, you know, by you having a party, our host is going to get that half price item, depending on their friendship level, that lady may have had a party to help out the host. Even though like she doesn't want any product, maybe she would do a fundraiser. That could be one too, where you say, well, you know, even if you don't need any product, how about having a fundraiser? And then that way, you know, Susie host can still get her half price item. So that's what I'm saying. I ask everybody, I don't care who they are, you know, I can find a way around their situation to, you know, that party could be beneficial to them. You know, because like I said, in your head, you're thinking, oh, she doesn't cook. Why would I ask her? But there could be other reasons that she'd want to have a party. So, okay. So last week we talked about the 4 pillars of success. We talked about belief last time. Anybody have any eye-opening experiences concerning their belief or something that they've worked on this week to enhance their belief if there was some area that was low? Anybody want to share? Everybody good? Their belief high? All right. So anyway, so as I said, if your belief is not high in some area, I challenge you to, talk to me about it, or, watch some videos or take some training or whatever to improve that belief. And so the whole idea is that the opportunity to purchase, the opportunity to book a party, or the opportunity to join, you just need to be like, so.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I interrupted you. When you guys have you post an event on Facebook and then your host invites all these people, do you add them as friends?
I don't, but a lot of virtual consultants do. I don't know why I don't. I mean, I don't have a reason why I don't do it. But I think like the people that do really, really well with the virtual parties and this whole virtual world, they add them all as their friends.
Okay.
So I would say it doesn't hurt to add them, because again, if they're friends and they're seeing your videos or they're seeing your posts or whatever, you just don't know how
maybe
you're
add
going
it
to engage.
to my business page rather than my other page.
You can do that too.
Hey Maya, can I make a suggestion there? It's totally up to you. If you're going to add them, I would introduce yourself. I go to so many networking things, and I get women all the time that send me Facebook friends requests because they're going through and saying, oh, we've got 20 of the same friends. And I get really annoyed with it, and I will text them back and I say, hi, my name is Laura. You sent me a friend request. Are you wanting Pampered Chef product? And then I'll get their long spiel. And I won't do business with them, because I think if you're going to want to do business with me, introduce yourself and say, hey, my name is Laura. I'm with Pampered Chef. I noticed that you were on such and such a party, and then do that. Because I think that's just putting a bad name out there for us consultants that are really working hard. I think it'd be better if you introduced yourself and then send it to them.
I think that's a great suggestion. It goes back to, all of this is about building relationships.
Right.
And they always say, like, what if you wouldn't do it in person, don't do it online. So same thing too, again, to develop a friendship, and why you would want to be friends with them on Facebook is because there is some relationship. So I think if you lay the groundwork as to how you met them, and again too, then going into, I'd love to have you join my business page. I post recipes there. I'll keep you updated with specials. So again, what is the benefit for them to be your friend, basically? So I think that's great information. So, okay. So today the pillar that we're looking at is passion. So we'll skip down here to this. So this week, I want you to look at your passion behind the company's booking opportunity. And it goes back to what we said at the very beginning, is you have got to be so excited about what you have to offer that it just exudes out of you. You've got to believe that we have the best thing ever, and be so completely passionate about it that you can't help booking a ton of parties. So are you passionate at your parties? I mean, that comes out, passionate about the product, passionate about what you have to offer in terms of booking a party. And it goes back to, I said, if you do not believe that having a party is not the best thing in the world, figure out how you can get that in your head. And that goes back to, host somebody else's party and realize how bad their host program is compared to ours, or how difficult their party is to host. And I think that will help you build your passion for the Pampered Chef party. Or like I said, host your own Pampered Chef party and realize how fun it is and how much, people enjoy it. But you have to be passionate about the whole booking, the whole hosting opportunity if you're going to book parties. If you're not passionate, you're probably not going to be booking many parties. But be passionate about the products. Can people tell that you're in love with your products? Can they tell that when you talk about bookings, how much fun it's going to be and how crazy they'd be not to have one? And can you paint a picture so clear that they have to join your team? So again, it's all about your passion, your excitement. It's contagious, and people will feed off of that and will want to book with you. So here we go again. Answer yes or no honestly. You don't need to say this out loud, but just think about this in your head. Are you passionate about our products? And my guess is probably yes for all of us, because again, it goes back to why we joined Pampered Chef. And again, you don't have to be passionate about every single product, but in general, you have to love our products and be passionate about them. Are you passionate about booking shows? And that's probably the one that will probably get all of us, because, you know, there's that little thing in your head telling you, you know, nobody wants to book a party or, you know, whatever. And that you just can't have that going on in your head. You've got to be passionate and be confident about what you have to offer and know that people are going to want to book a party when you're reaching out to them. And are you passionate about sharing our business opportunity? That's going to come a little bit later in this course. So whether you are or are not, it will show. And I guarantee it. And I think, like I said, I mean, those of you that know me well enough know how passionate I am about everything. And, you know, that just comes out with everything that I do and say about Pampered Chef. And I think that helps me to be successful. So hopefully that can help you as well. If there's something that you're struggling about, so it says, you know, if you do not feel passionate, how can you find your passion? So here are some ideas. Everybody, almost everybody on this call, not Mia yet, but your time will come, has been to national conference. And if that doesn't boost your passion, I don't know what does. So, you know, kind of take yourself back to conference and how much fun you had, and, you know, the stories that you heard and how this business has changed lives. That hopefully will ignite your passion. You know, again, go through the training courses and just, you know, get excited about what we have to offer again. Watch YouTube videos. That's what Laura did this past week. She found one on Sharon Zellen, and that gave her some ideas. Play with your tools at home, because again, if you love the tools, I think that's the base of everything. Attend a team meeting. So we have another one coming up, not this next Monday, but the next one. That'll be via Zoom, so everybody can join us. Listen to training calls. Find a buddy to keep you accountable. And I think that's key. And I mean, I'm happy to be your buddy, but I think it's better if you have somebody that's just like a team member, or, you know, a friend, or somebody that can kind of help you hold yourself accountable to your business. And, you know, somebody that you can check in with, or they can check in with you in terms of, you know, how's it going? And have you made your contacts? And, you know, are you getting the bookings you want, and whatever, and you know, be a buddy to each other. Find a fair or booth to work. And I like doing them. I know Tracy said, you know, she's kind of gotten down on them, but I like to do them because I just have a whole day of talking about my business, and, you know, and I have people coming up, you know, that, you know, again, those, I find that those that engage with me and that come over to the booth generally like Pampered Chef. And so I'm getting, you know, a lot of positive feedback in terms of how much they love product and the products they like. Yeah.
Sorry. I interrupt all the time. So when you do a booth, what's the most you pay for a booth that you do?
Kind of depends on how much exposure the booth is going to have. I've paid, so normally for me personally, I don't like to spend much more than $100. If it gets to be more than that, I want to get a couple people involved with me so we can keep the cost down. So, but the way I look at it is, if it costs me $100, if I book one party and I have one average party, $500 party, I've made $100. So if I just book one party, I've made my money back. So that's why, like I said, I'm willing to spend $100, because I figure I will book a party. And then from that party, I'm going to book another party, and I'm going to have all these new leads and new business. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm also in my business longer and I make more money. So I understand if you're like, I can't spend $100.
I'm like, but $40, $40. I won't pay $40.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, if there's a booth that's a little out of your price range, do it with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so that you can split the cost. You're splitting the leads though too, of course. But yeah. But like I said, and the thing that I look at is how well is that event going to be advertised?
Well, you know, Sedalia's hit and miss. It's hit and miss on what is going to be good and what's going to not work out. It's not
you know, and I've done booths that I've spent a lot of money on and they were a bust, and you don't know until you try it. But again, if you don't try it, you know, you're out all the leads. Whereas if you try it and you meet a few new people, you know, good for you. If it's a bust, I don't do it the next year. you know, but I do find the more public, the better, you know. So like our community has a spring and a fall event, and there's like tens of thousands of people, you know, so that one I'm worth, you know, I'd be willing to spend more for, knowing how many people are going to be walking by. If it's like a little in-home one, chances are there's not a cost involved, so I'm willing to do it because there's no cost. But anything else, I kind of I don't know, I kind of like to see how well it's going to be advertised, and I like it to be in a more public location as opposed to, you know, like somebody's home. I just think you're going to get more traffic. So, okay. Moving on. So any questions on anything we've talked about? Sorry, this call went long, but I think there was some good information for you guys. Any questions?
How long is an average party?
In terms of time?
Yeah.
I try to have it 2 hours. So I get there 30 minutes before, and then we start probably 15 minutes late. I try to have my demo done in 45 minutes. So like if the party starts at 7, by 8 o'clock, I try to be done with the demo, and though it's another hour till I'm leaving. So yeah, so for my demo though part, back to the demo, 45 minutes to an hour is kind of where I like to keep it.
Do you do the whole thing, or do you do station style? How do you do
I
yours?
do station style. So yeah, so with all the hands-on, so my intro, cooking the recipe, station style, and then my booking and recruiting spiel, I try to do 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
How many door prizes do you do at a party? And
I kind of go on the size of the group.
Well, go ahead. Give us an example.
I kind of do about 1 prize per 5 guests is kind of my average.
So how are you doing that? Are you doing it for the door prizes, or are you doing something else as well?
No, I'm doing the door prize. So I always do the door prize slip. So that's the little pad of paper at the end of the party after I've done the booking and the recruiting and done everything. Then I pass it out and say, hey, you know, I'm going to do a door prize drawing if I could get everybody's information. I'm not a stalker, so don't be afraid to give me your information. I'm not going to call you if you don't want to ever see me again. And they all kind of chuckle. And then as I'm passing it out one by one to the people, I let them know, I said, there's a couple of questions I need you to answer. The first one is, if you're interested in learning more about Pampered Chef, please let me know, and let me know if it's for you or somebody you know. Second question is about getting your friends together for a party. You know, we're going to have fun, we're going to eat, and we're going to drink. If you have a date or a month in mind, let me know that as well. Third question is, if you want those host benefits, but you don't want to open up your home to your friends, you can do a catalog or a virtual party. So let me know if that's of interest. And then at the bottom are extra services that I offer with fundraisers and bridal showers and bridal registries. So if you have questions or if I can help in those areas, please let me know as well. So I'm saying all that as I'm passing it out. And then I have them fill that out while I go get the food ready. And then I collect that. And that's, I say, so let me have your door prize slip and then you can go eat. So I kind of use that as like their ticket to go eat. So then the other thing that I do, so that's separate from the door prize drawing, is I do when I do my recruiting spiel, I have them ask questions, and I have a prize that I pass around as they're asking questions. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we do the recruiting part. But so you know it, Laura, from how Dawn does it at our mega parties and stuff. So I do it the same way. So those are my 2 prizes that I give out, one for recruiting questions and one for the door prize. Any other questions?
And are you doing the season's best or something else?
For the door prizes, I do a basket of goodies. I let them pick. So it's all things off the supply order for the door prizes. It's the season's best, the citrus peelers, the little quick cut paring knives, the toaster tongs, all that kind of stuff. So I do a basket and I let them pick. Any other questions? Nope. From anybody else? Okay. So for your call to action for next week is continue to track your contacts, because I think you will find it's eye-opening that I really believe if you can have 15 back and forth type of conversations, whether it's live, Facebook, texting, whatever, email. But if you can be having a back and forth with 15 people a week, and with that back and forth be, you know, getting to asking them if they're interested in having a party, I think you will fill your calendar. I think where we all fall short, and I will put myself in the same boat with you guys, is just not having enough conversations. You know, you're making a lot of calls per se, but you're leaving a lot of messages, and unfortunately that can't count as a contact. You know, so it does take a lot of calls to have that back and forth conversation. But if you're having those back and forth conversations, you're going to get the bookings. And again, of those 15, they're not all going to say yes, but like I said, I just find, I know for myself, it's eye-opening that how many people I have to reach out to have the conversation to get the bookings. And when my calendar is not full, it's because I'm not having enough conversations with people. So track that, because it'll be very eye-opening and it will force you to have enough conversations. And then the other audio that I think will help you guys is at Pampered Chef University in the bookings course under the peer sharing resources is a audio, make it a full calendar, and it's with Julie Gizzy and Julie Ritter. And that'll be a really, really good audio for you guys to listen to. So you guys have that info. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. Sorry the call ran long today, but hope you got some good information, and let me know if there's anything else I can help you guys with. Anything else? Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, you're quite welcome. Good to see everybody.
You too.
Talk to you guys
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.